I want to make this quick little video to show you how to use this is a 2007 Toyota Camry, and I want to show you how to use the OEM frame from the speakers. I already got this one replaced. That one there is the next one. I'm going to pull it out. It has then gotten dark on it, so I'm just going to make a quick little clip, but I'm going to show you how to cut your frame so you can use the OEM without having to order these if you have like a jigsaw or a grinder or something where you can cut the frame. But we're going to show you the steps, and this is helpful. Hopefully you can use it. Okay, to remove your speaker, you're going to have to, like I see all this stuff is we went ahead and took the cosmetics out, but it's got a little clamp here, and this here is, you just press it in right there and pull. That'll disconnect it. For the speakers, to take them out, you're going to need a 10mm wrench. I'm using a 10mm socket. Just take these screws out, and we'll show you what to do once we get this out. Okay. Once you get your 4 screws out, the speaker should come right on out. You connect, and that's the reason we're taking them out. Probably could refoam it, but we're just going to take them out and replace them. These are the ones I'm going to use to replace the stock ones. I started out with these, but I'm going to change these as well. This is a 94R Riot by Bose. Right now it's just a quiet storm because that's about all the noise I'm getting out of it. I did see a video where it says this, it's an Alpine SE 6090s, I believe they were. I'm going to order those. It's 2-way, and I'm going to do that because the fellow in the installation is using those for replacement speakers. So until we get those in, we're going to go ahead and cut the frame on these. And as you see, like I was showing you, it's all busted out, the foam is gone. So what I'm going to do is just reuse this frame, and we're going to show you how to cut the frame out and how we prepped it for installation. Remove the little piece that holds it in here because we're going to be cutting the frame out. Now your wires, you have on this model, you have 2 sets of wires running. To the woofer is a red and yellow. Disconnect that one also. And then you will notice on the tweeter side, you're going to have a black and a green. Now, I was watching the video, and like I said, they're Alpine, I believe it was SE, but I know it's 690 in the video. And the fellow that used it, I guess he went ahead with those because it's a 2-way. You get your speaker and your tweeter. With this here, I guess it will be a 4-way. You got your mid, your tweeters, your speaker, and just hooking it up through the factory 2007 Camry, I'm not getting, the performance is really low with this. So I'm figuring if the fellow in the video used the Alpines, then he assumed them to be a good aftermarket speaker for this model. So what we're going to do next is we're going to cut this frame out so we can remove the speaker here. I must say, these JBL, they sound pretty good, even busted. One other thing, on the OEM speaker, the housing, well, on the OEM speaker, before you cut the speaker itself out, you're going to have on the bottom side this little foamy rubber thing seal. You're going to want to carefully remove it. So what I'm doing is just taking a sharp edge and get it started. Try not to cut it, and just take your time and go around and peel that off. And I'm doing that because I will reuse it. I guess you could as well take and use some silicone or... Okay, just set that aside. And now you have your frame. I'm suggesting when you cut it, we're going to take, I have a grinder, but I have a jigsaw that I did the first one with. We're just going to cut right around that outer edge. Basically, I'm going to keep it on this side of the lip so I have room for the replacement speakers to fit in. You can also go on and strip that part of the foam off. And also, while I'm at this point, I want to point out that on the factory speakers, the yellow is going to be positive on the speaker, the red is negative. Black is going to be negative, and the green is going to be positive. Get your metal blade for your jigsaw and ease it into it. Okay, so just cut the speaker out, and once you have it cut out, you're going to want to take, and on your frame, take a file and file the edges. And be careful because the metal pieces are very sharp and you can't touch it. Alright, once you get your frame cut out, remember this here part faces up. And you'll see that your speaker should fit right in there. And that's why I say make sure you cut on the inside of that lip, giving yourself room. Went over a little bit there, but I think it's going to be alright. Now as you notice, I couldn't use these speakers, just drop them into place of the stock speakers, because you see how the holes line up. So what we'll do next is take and mark the holes. We'll drill them out. The good thing about this is a 6x9 basically is a 6x9. Your hole pattern might be different on each one, but as long as you got that frame, you're good to go. You can just drop your 6x9 in there, mark your holes on whichever brand speaker you have, and then just drill them out. So once you get your holes marked, set your drill up so you can drill them. Okay, now with these holes you want to be really careful because the metal on this side will cut you. I've got a cut from the early one, so file that down. Get rid of those metal shavings. Okay, so now we're ready to place our speaker inside the frame we just cut out. But before I do that, what I want to do is come on the back side of your speaker. We just got some silicone, and I'm going to put a bead around the edge. This is just to help, I guess, I don't know, seal it, hopefully cut down on vibrations, but you're going to tighten it up pretty good the way I show you. So we're just going to put this up here just for GP. Like I said, if anything, I hope it's going to cut down on vibrations, even though it's going to be pretty tight once we seal it or screw it in back in place. Let that sit and dry. Alright, so now we have the bead up there. Just put the speaker on the frame. And now we'll put screws in. Washer. And and the screws that we use, these are number 10s, 1024 by 3/8. Screws into place, get them nice and snug. Like I said, we're going to come back and now take this piece, the little foam piece that originally came off. Let's see, a little foam is still a little wet, so I'm going to just, instead of squirting more up there, I'm going to just smooth this around the edge. If you need to put some up there to hold the foam down, then just squirt a little more on, but I think I have enough to spread around. And just put this back in place. And if you don't want to use this, then you can just put another bead silicone on and just let it sit and dry, and that would be pretty much so the same effect. But now that's in place. You want to come and set your wire up. Like I said, for the wiring, the black is negative and the green is positive. Your yellow is positive and your red is negative. The yellow and red is for the speaker, the green and black is for the tweeter. Now when we hook them up, that's why I said we're going back to the Alpine as well. This is a two-way. I didn't get a good sound from these when we hooked them up. That's one reason I'm going to go try the Alpine, because like I said, the guy in the video, if he's using them, it seems like it would be something that's more compatible than these. We did want to show you how to set your frame up, set it in your frame, use the OEM frame, just cut it out, and it should hold the 6x9s. You might have to mark your holes to where you're going to drill, but for the most part, there it is. We used a heat sink and we did also we ordered some of the OEM replacements, but these were for the front speakers. So I went ahead and cut this off and used these on one of the other speakers. I'm probably do this as well with this set. And what I end up doing with these, if anything, put them in place, or just go out and get a couple more. Well, why go do all that? Well, because I just want to go ahead and use and put these speakers in place. So I'm gonna snip these off and use part of the ones with the use these that came with it for the tweeter side. But that's basically what you have. But hopefully that'll be helpful if you want to DIY, use your own frame, or you could just order one. Also, you can take a marker and darken these out if you want to, like, just so they're not so shiny. Just get your permanent marker and you can color those in or whatnot, so they're not so shiny or whatnot. But they're not going to be seen anyway. That's an option. That's up to you. For the last tad bit, I just want to wrap up by saying, whenever you connect your wires, I don't even know where my other little last piece went, but I'll find it. You're going to want to, once you twist them together, solder them together so you have a nice solid fit. We also use some the shrink stuff, heat shrink over the wires to protect them. But more so than that, whenever you go to reinstall your frame back in your car, one thing we did learn is these are the OEM screws, and once we went to put them back in the car, we did find that they didn't really tighten up. So one thing for sure is, most definitely you're going to want to use these nuts. No, seriously, you're going to want to use these nuts. They are M6 1.00 millimeter nuts, and they'll come in handy because once you put it in the car, you can tighten it down and make sure it's nice and secure. Thank you.